Welcome to AMC Mailbag, the show dedicated to answering your movie-based questions. If you've got one burning, make sure you email it in at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. We could answer it on AMC Movie Talk Monday through Friday or right here on Mailbag. Hi there, my name is Maud Garrett. I'll be hosting today's show. And joining me is my fellow Jedi Council member and AMC Editor-in-Chief, John Campier.
Hey guys, great to be back and looking forward to doing our Sunday mailbag.
And also a reminder that if you are into Jedi Council, episode 5 went up on Thursday.
Yes, it did. Check
it
out.
A Star Wars shirt to celebrate, even though I think you have to look really closely and I have to move away from the microphone. But this is not about me or my shirts. This is about mailbag, so let's get started. Luke Larson writes, "Hey guys, greetings from South Dakota. Thanks for being the best part of my day. My question is, who is your favourite actor that is known for supporting roles? I think the king is John Cazale, but my personal favourite is Joe Pantoliano. Thanks and bring that filthy, son." Yeah,
for me, look, big stars are great. Big stars come and go. It's solid supporting cast that make a good movie a great movie. And my all-time favorite is an actor by the name, and you probably never heard his name, is an actor by the name of David Morse. It's a name you won't recognize, but see, there's his face. Dennis Scott's face there. As soon as you see his face, it's like, oh, it's that guy from that thing. Whether it's Green Mile or Disturbia, Bait, 12 Monkeys. You know, he's been in a whole, even recently, he was really good in that little Jennifer Garner movie called The Odd Life of Timothy Green, I think it was called. He plays like a grandfather figure, whatever. This guy, every time he's in anything, he crushes. And he was in The Rock, too. He totally crushes every role that he's in. And he's just one of those guys. They even gave him, finally, his own TV show back in like 2002 called Hack, where he was like a former cop, then now he's a cab driver, but he kind of sticks. He's like an A-team. He's a one-man A-team. He goes and helps people in need as a cab driver. He's a total badass. Anyway, David Morse is his name. My all-time favorite supporting actor, character actor, whatever you want to call them. The dude's awesome. Check out his stuff if you get a chance.
And your favorite supporting actress?
Favorite supporting actress?
Totally just threw that.
Yeah, that's a total curveball.
Sorry.
I'm trying to think of like really... Well, whenever I see Jeannie Garofalo and anything, I always get really happy when I see her. I can list a million of my favorite actresses, but supporting actresses. Joan Cusack. I always love Joan Cusack when she pops up, and it's great, especially in the comedy. She does great. Mm-hmm. What about you? What would be some of your favorite supporting actresses?
Recently, like with Cinderella and all that, Kate Blanchett, she's killing it, but she's such a household
But she's
name
like
now.
a mega star. She's not a supporting
actress. There is an actress that she's always plays the best friend, and it's that same thing where he's like, I don't know her name. Oh, you know, that girl from that thing. So I'll have to look it up.
Fair enough.
I can't think of it
all
on
right.
the spot, but she's also in those Sprint ads as well where all her friends scream and then everything breaks. Cool. Brandon Martin writes, "Hey AMC Movie News crew, I'm a sweaty movie nerd and movie talk is the highlight of my day. I was watching T2 and it got me thinking about Terminator Genisys. Given that the Terminator learns, the more it interacts with humans, do you think that we could get a much more human Terminator in Genisys since that he's been with Sarah Connor for 20 plus years?"
Yes, and I think the trailers have already pointed towards that. There's much less Terminator in the Terminator this time, in Schwarzenegger this time. There seems to be a lot more humanity in him. Although, I really like that Terminator Genisys trailer. I really did, but they really didn't need to throw in the "I'll be back" line. Not in the trailer. I'm glad they're putting it in the movie. You can't do a Terminator movie without him saying the line. I get it. Didn't have to put it in the trailer, because in the trailer, out of context, it kind of felt really forced. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are still asking the question, wait a minute, if he's a Terminator, how come he looks older? Because when the filmmakers for this one had talked to James Cameron told them this little secret about the Terminators, or this little bit of info about the Terminators. Because remember, they're robots, but their exterior, their skin, if you will, is, is biological. You know, their skin is biological. It will age. It will decay. The hair fibers will start to gray and all that kind of stuff. And when they did that, it kind of opened up that logic window saying, oh, you can have Arnold today be a Terminator who has aged. And it makes total sense. So yes, I do agree with you. I think we're going to see a much more human Terminator than we've seen any of the other ones, but I think we'll still see a lot of the little Terminator-isms in him, but I think a more pronounced humanity. I think that's a really good observation.
Where does your excitement level sit with the new Genisys?
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, my excitement, 5 being yeah, I'll go see it. I will say 6.5. I'm at a 6.5 right now. I'm like a lot of people. I started off thinking this isn't a good idea. They got, Arnold back in. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so that notches it up a bit. And then I saw the trailer. And the trailer was like, yeah, okay, I'm into this. I can dig this. So I am at a favorable 6.5 right now. Where would you be on it?
This is going to make people cry, but I only saw T2 for the first time a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't grow up on it. I don't think I was allowed to watch it when it kind of came out.
Right.
My mum was like, this is scary. You'll get nightmares. I'll definitely watch it. I think T2's great. I loved it. So yeah, more of that I understand. But keep in mind, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was the governor not too long ago.
Yep.
He was running California and now he's going to save the world again. Yeah, okay, makes sense.
I get it.
Could happen. Yeah, sweet. Angelo Thomas says, love the show and all of the new Phase 3 stuff. John has mentioned a few times recently that he really liked Tim Burton's, what, did you? Charlie and the...
I actually did, yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I know that it would probably never happen, but would you see a sequel if it were made now? It could be loosely adapted from the second book, and I think it could be really fun to see an older Charlie Bucket. Thanks, guys. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, see, the funny thing is here, I am not a Tim Burton fan. I'm not. But I got a lot of my friends who really, really are. And it's kind of funny that when we get into discussions about Tim Burton, I'll go, yeah, but I will admit, I kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And they'll go, what? That's the worst Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, though. I actually appreciated the movie for what it was. And I really like the chemistry between Johnny Depp and I keep forgetting Freddie something, the name of the kid who played Charlie. Is that what? Yes, it is Highmore. And the funny thing is they then went on and did one of my most underappreciated movies, like next to Stardust and things like that, called Finding Neverland. And they were both in that one too. And their chemistry in Finding Neverland was incredible. I love that movie. Actually, it might be my favorite Johnny Depp performance of all time is in Finding Neverland. I think he was nominated for an Academy Award for that too. At any rate, I like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, would I be up for a sequel? Surprisingly, yes, I would. I think this would be fascinating. Fast forward now 50 years. Or fast forward 40 years, let's say 40 years. And Charlie now, it's a history repeats itself situation. Charlie is now looking to move on from the Chocolate Factory. Charlie is now the one who wants to pass on to the Oompa Loompas or whatever and stuff like that and go to wherever, the original Charlie went or the original Willy Wonka went. That would be, I think, a very interesting thing. So you could kind of borrow from the old story dynamics of the first Charlie and Chocolate Factory because he's looking for a new era. You could do that, but still put a new take on it and a new spin. And obviously Charlie isn't Willy Wonka, so he would do a different type of system. I think, look, if they came out and announced that tomorrow, I'd be interested. I'd say, okay, yeah, let's see how this comes together. Who's directing, who's writing, who you can put in, and all that kind of stuff. But I would, right from the bat, I would be interested.
Do you think that the sequel could work with Johnny Depp back on board?
No.
Is that because the last 5 movies of him hasn't really made much money?
No, it's really more because of the story that I'm envisioning. The story I'm envisioning now, that Willie would be like 90 or something like that. So I think it would be time to pass it on. It goes now, maybe Johnny Depp in a cameo role where he pops back in, you just age him up and that, and maybe he comes to collect Charlie to go off to wherever the magical retirement land is or something like that. South Florida, I guess. I don't know. And then they go there, maybe, but let the movie focus on Charlie and him passing the factory on.
I just think that Johnny Depp was so creepy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then coming back to take, little Charlie away. No, that's even
little
worse.
Charlie's going to be 50 years old, of course, at that point.
Okay. We've got one from Nathan Pratt, who says, hey guys, I'm a huge fan of all the shows. First, I need to give props to John for hiring such a great cast of people for all the shows, especially the ladies. Sup, ladies? My question is, has there been any news regarding the new Transformers movie as far as who's directing? I heard conflicting reports of Bay's involvement with the film and would like some clarity. I'm a big fan of his, but would like to see someone else take it for obvious reasons. Stay filthy.
No information. And yes, despite the fact that I was one of the only human beings on the face of the earth that supported the decision to bring on Michael Bay to direct the first Transformers movie, and I thought he did a very good job of the first Transformers movie, it's been declining returns ever since. 2 was terrible. 3 was god-awful. 4 is something I just can't burn out of my memory. It's so bad. It is time to move on. It's time to give the directing reins to somebody else. I've heard nothing at this point about who that might be. As far as Michael Bay's participation in it, From what I understand, and I could be wrong about this, from what I understand, Michael Bay will stay on the franchise as a producer, which is no big surprise to anybody. It's really going to be about who's the director they get in to do this. And I think we're probably still a year or two away from finding out. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. Who knows? But for right now, I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything?
No, and I kind of think at the moment enough's enough. If you had started so high and you're still trying to fight for that, and after 4 movies, yes, the money's there, but the actual
That's
quality,
the whole argument.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, the money's there. That the argument starts and ends there for the studios.
Would anyone, I guess is the same point. What director would want to become a part of this project?
Are you kidding me? Like, forget the money side. Forget that for a second. If you are a director, let me put this in sports terms, right? If there was a hockey player out there, look, I bleed blue and white. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan till the day I die, all right? That being said, I know a lot of our American viewers have no idea what I'm talking about. It's a sport called hockey. You should check it out. Anyway, the Toronto Maple Leafs have been very bad for a very, very long time. It is one of the most storied franchises in all of the NHL. But they keep talking about, why would a superstar want to go there? Number one, because it's one of the most storied franchises of all time. But number two, if you could be the guy to go to that team and turn that team around and bring them back to greatness, you will be immortal. If you could be a director, first of all, you're going to get a giant budget. You're going to get full studio support. And you know that the last one, despite being so bad, had over $1 billion worth of people to go out and see it. If you could be that director to step in and actually give a good Transformers movie, you will be canonized. You will be immortal. The Pope will come down from Italy to bestow upon you a sainthood. You would be the man/woman. You'd be the person. That's it. You're the guy. And so, a big paycheck's going to come along with it. And the franchise is already crap. So if you come in and it sucks, no one's going to blame you. It is a win-win-win-win situation. I think any director would trip over themselves to take this over. Big paycheck, big budget, no fault given to you if it goes bad. And if it goes well, you're considered one of the greats by all the fanboys. I'd take it in a second.
Sounds like it's a complete win-win situation. What is something that could stop it from being perfect? We know that Robotech, the property's been bought, has a similar kind of premise to Transformers. Could that, around the same time as the new Transformers, kind of stop it from being the success that you feel it could be?
Oh, no. If any of those two are going to affect the other, it will be a good Transformers will be affecting Robotech. Transformers is a juggernaut. Transformers is already a $1 billion franchise. Transformers is the giant here. Robotech will be the David. I'm a big fan of Robotech. I'm really glad it's coming. But I'm one of 17 people who know of what Robotech is. I mean, we're a small group, those of us who watch Robotech. You go up to somebody at the local movie theater and say, do you know what protoculture is? They're going to look at you as like, what?
Is that in my yogurt?
Yeah, I say, yes, that's something that's in my yogurt. That's exactly what they're going to say. But you even say to average people on the street, do you know who Optimus Prime is? Of course they know who Optimus Prime is. It is a juggernaut of a franchise. And honestly, I don't think they're going to affect each other whatsoever. If anything, I believe in the rising tide raises all ships. I believe a big, fantastic, really good Transformers movie can positively affect a Robotech. I think that'll get people going, hey, I just loved my time in the theater watching a giant robot movie, and there's another one coming out. I'll go check it out. I think if anything could hurt a Robotech movie, it'd be a really bad Transformers movie, is people going, what? Another giant robot movie? No, thank you. If they're good, they can do nothing but help each other.
Awesome. Robert Miller says, hi, AMC crew. Every time someone brings up John Carter, a thought comes to mind. Most of the people who have seen the movie really like it, but it failed at the box office due to bad title and bad marketing. Why not retitle it John Carter of Mars, remarket it, and re-release it to try and revitalize it and turn it into a franchise? This goes for the same. This goes the same for any good movies with the same reasons of failure. Zero production cost. I know the marketing cost could be risking, but if done right, the millions of people out there who have no idea the movie existed would go and see it.
No, they wouldn't. It's ironic that you bring up John Carter. I just happen to be wearing my John Carter jacket today. No, they wouldn't. If a movie has been in theater, they did a marketing campaign, all that kind of stuff, then if it's coming back out, people are just going to go, what? It really wouldn't. And then you'll be talking about a studio putting up another $25 million to market and get it into theaters and get the film on hard drives that need to go out to the theaters or on prints if it's a film theater and all that kind of stuff. It just wouldn't do it. Once a movie hits theaters, theater unless it's a giant classic that then years later does a re-release like a Star Wars or a Back to the Future. Putting it back out in theater is not going to work. Millions of people will not line up to go see it. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. I wish it worked that way. That would give a little bit of justice to the world of Hollywood if it did, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way.
So basically, these studios have one chance to get it right, the marketing the first time.
Yeah, and you blow it, you're done. And, you know, I still get sad when I think about John Carter because it really is such a good movie. It's great, pure sci-fi. It is the purest version of 1920s, 1930s, 1940s era sci-fi that I think I might have ever seen put to screen. I thought it was a really solid movie. Great imagination, you know, a great sense of wonder to it. But the marketing campaign, as big of a fan as I am of the marketing geniuses at Disney, the marketing campaign for John Carter was the worst I had ever seen until Edge of Tomorrow, which ended up being the worst marketing campaign I've ever seen. John Carter was a terribly botched marketing campaign, right from the title to their posters to their trailers. It was a confusing mush of stuff that why would anybody be interested in seeing this? And the only reason I saw it was because the damn studio flew me out to Arizona to go and see it there. And so I saw it and I was like, and I remember talking to the PR guys for Disney the day after I saw the movie. We're in Arizona and they're like, what did you think about it? And I remember saying to them, guys, this movie is really good. How could you have dropped the ball so badly on this? Because the movie was great. It was a difficult film to market. It's really unfortunate, but no, Disney could put another $20 million into it and they're just going to lose another 18. I mean, it would be unfortunate.
Yeah, John Carter sounded like a Jack Reacher. I thought it was going to be like sort of an agent film. And then when I saw Mythical Creatures, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
The fact that you loved it though, and you sing its praises so much, shouldn't it be a cult classic if it really is that good of a movie?
Well, let's not forget this too, that while it is a bomb, it made over $200 million at the box plus. I mean, it might be around the 200. Actually, fact checker Ray, can you look up for me the box office results for John Carter, the worldwide results? And so we'll get the worldwide results for that. But a lot of really good movies never do because, look, this movie looks so bad, nobody went back to give it another chance. Like, despite positive word of mouth, it was like everybody was so turned off from this movie right from the get-go that I just think it precludes it from getting that type of success. Were you able to find it, Ray?
Worldwide, it was $284 million.
Oh, so close to $300 million. So it's not like nobody went to go see it. I just think everybody who you could have conned into going to go see it already did.
All righty. Here we are. Matt O'Brien says, love the show and also new Jedi Council show. Keep up the good work. The other day you spoke about who would voice Genie in a live action Aladdin, which made me think about Mulan. My question is, should Disney have Eddie Murphy come back to voice Mushu in the upcoming live action Mulan? I can't hear anyone else voicing him. Is there anyone that you could see replacing him? Thanks.
Anybody could replace him. It's the voice of a dragon. You're recreating. Look, the only way you can't replace him is if you're just trying to nail that exact same character. But let's look at Cinderella. The Cinderella, which was awesome, by the way, that we just saw, that was a different Cinderella than we saw in the animated film. It yet still had the spirit of Cinderella, but it was a distinctively different Cinderella. It was a very different Wicked Stepmother. These were all very unique characters, even though they completely embodied what we've come to know and love. They were different and unique. I think if they're doing Mulan, number one, there is nothing that says they would even use a dragon at all. I mean, that's not a foregone conclusion or a guarantee. They may want to go with a different type of field that doesn't have a talking dragon, hanging out with her and chatting with her. And if they do, there's nothing to say that the tone of the film, because the tone of the Cinderella movie was actually quite different from the tone of the animated movie. There's nothing to say that the tone of the movie would be a fit at all for the Eddie Murphy dragon at all. There's just nothing that says. Now, if they make a live action film and they want to include the dragon and they want it to feel just like the animated film and they want that type of a character, they want the dragon to be that type of a, goofball character, then sure, bring back Eddie Murphy. Absolutely. No problem with that whatsoever. But the notion of, I can't see anybody else but him, except you have no idea what the character is really even going to be or if the character is going to be there in the first place. So let's not be rush too much to say they should get Eddie Murphy back when we have no idea whether he'd be a fit or not.
We said we've already had Cinderella, we had Maleficent, we're seeing Aladdin, now Mulan. Do you think that this is, Beauty and the Beast is another one. Are they just going to remake every Disney movie into a live action? And is this something that you think is beneficial, or will it be overkill?
Well, I mean, we haven't heard that there's an Aladdin coming yet, so but I expect an Aladdin. An Aladdin one as you could do, I'd be surprised. I think they will do as many as they can, and why not? I mean, Christian points out that right now they're 1 win, 2 losses. I was not big on Maleficent, no matter how good Angelina Jolie was in the role. They butchered the story on that pretty badly. And then what was the live action one before that? Oh, Alice in Wonderland. Oh my goodness, that movie was so bad. But then they had Cinderella, which now totally has us all excited about, hey, maybe took a few swings. Maybe they swung twice, 2 strikes, almost striking out, but that third pitch came and they crushed it with Cinderella. And now we feel like maybe it just took them a little while to find their stride. And if they found their stride now, I'm telling you something, they've got a couple in the works. The one I'm really excited about is Beauty and the Beast.
Emma Watson as Belle.
As Belle.
Shut the front door.
Like, give me a break.
Town, it's a quiet village. You even know all the words of this.
She was singing. We were actually singing together, actually off camera a little bit earlier. We started singing Beauty and the Beast songs. It was actually kind of funny.
Is it? Because it's kind of... Anyway, I won't go there. Christopher Lilly says, given how Cap 2 ended with Bucky trying to rediscover himself and Cap Falcon supposedly getting ready to go searching for him, how do you think that storyline will play into Captain America Civil War? Since the Civil War comic story is already getting drastically scaled down for film, I feel like that they would have a hard enough time fitting everything in without even mentioning the Winter Soldier. Do you think that they will split time in the movies for both stories? The Winter Soldier storyline won't get resolved in this movie, or that they will somehow tie the WS to Civil War? Wow. Winter Soldier, do you think it'll be in Civil War?
Right. Okay.
There's 3 options there. Which one?
We actually skipped a question, but we'll go back to that question after we're done with this one.
Okay.
So Christopher Lee is asking about, will we see the guy? Well, look, let's keep this in mind. Once again, let's not make assumptions about what they're covering or how much they're going to do. They could... Just because Captain America and Falcon at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier say they're going to go looking for Winter Soldier, remember, in one 1-minute scene, they can say, okay, we found
him.
Yeah, it could be in Budapest, a coffee shop, and Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan's sitting there with a hat over, and then Falcon and Captain America walking up, and there, found him. Done. And don't think that can't be done. Remember, the Incredible Hulk, the one they had with Ed Norton, the one I'm an extra in, by the way. Yeah, well, they filmed that up in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, my hometown, and in Toronto and all. Anyway, remember what they did? Like, say, okay, now we got to do the origin story of the Hulk. You know how they did the origin story of the Hulk? 45-second montage of newspaper clippings, sound bites, blah, blah, told the origin story of the Hulk, and now let's move on. And that's what they did. And they can totally do that with Winter Soldier. If Winter Soldier is even going to be in the movie, I won't be surprised if he's not. I think he is. I personally think he is. But there's no guarantee that says he will be or that they need him to be. So I think we're fine. I don't think we're in any type of danger of it being rushed or all that kind of stuff. I think they will fulfill everything the story needs fulfilled within the time allotted, and I don't think it's going to be a problem whatsoever.
So then going back to the first question, how do you think the storyline will play into Captain America Civil War? Will it be a 45-second montage? Will it be throughout the whole thing? Will they go back in time with flashbacks?
No, what they don't have time to do is they don't have time to do a Civil War and have a movie about Captain hunting down and trying to find Winter Soldier. If Winter Soldier's in it, they're going to find him in a 5-minute scene. Okay. It's going to be really quick and easy and get it out of the way.
We're going to call it the Lucky Bucky?
The Lucky Bucky. Well, for all we know, he's been searching for him for a year, and then we just fast forward to the point where he finds him, and then they move on with the rest of the story.
I love that out of anywhere, he's in Budapest having a cup of coffee.
Why not?
Why not?
That's where everybody goes who's hiding, right? Budapest, coffee shops. Look it up.
Never had to be into hiding. I haven't had that yet.
Your real name's Trisha, so don't tell me that.
That is all the questions.
No, it's not. We got one. You skipped one.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
You skipped the one about the Lion King.
Oh, there's a lot of Disney chat.
Yes, there is.
My bad. I saw that and I saw that I thought we'd already talked about it because there's a lot of Mulan on my page. Matt Delaney, I apologize to you in particular for skipping over your question. He writes, my question is with regards to Disney revisiting a lot of their old properties and we just answered this. Whoops. And taking a new spin on them, such as Cinderella and now with Mulan and Beauty and the Beast. Growing up, my favorite Disney movie without question was The Lion King. There hasn't been anything Lion King anything Lion King related in a long time, and I think that it would be great to revisit that universe. What is your opinion on Disney doing a new take on Lion King? Thanks and bring the filthy.
Nope. Nope. They probably will at some point just because there's money to be made, but no. Look, the animated, I am still thinking is going to win our animation tournament as the greatest animated film of all time. In my opinion, The Lion King is the greatest animated film of all time. I love that film so much. However, unlike Aladdin, which is, you could see how you could shoot that. That's a pretty easy shoot. I have these nightmares of lions with the cats versus dogs. Remember that movie? Cats versus, and the moving lips. So you just have a cat there and then you fake an animated movie lips. It's like, Mufasa, what are you doing? Like, come here, Simba. You know, can you imagine how bad that would look?
Yeah.
That would be awful. There's no human beings in it. So essentially you're making another animated film. Well, we got the animated film. And while it is old enough to qualify for a reboot or whatever, now we're not talking, I don't think you do a live action transition of The Lion King. Can you reboot the animated? Sure, but the problem with the reboot there is one of my rules about reboots is, has the majority of the current movie-going audience not seen that one? And while the movie is certainly old enough that it would qualify, everybody's seen Lion King. Everybody's seen Lion King and loves it and celebrates it. So, well, I'm not against eventually there being a time to remake Lion King, to introduce it to a new generation of people. The fact of the matter is, every generation of people has seen The Lion King, and we're all on board with it, and we all love it. And so I don't want a live action version of it because I think it'll look silly. And I don't want an animated remake yet. Ask me again, 10 or 15 years. But yeah, I don't want to see them revisit it.
Wouldn't you want to make it now because it has been, 20, 23, 4
Yeah, like I said,
years?
if we just look at the calendar, I think it qualifies to be remade now. But like it is one of those rare movies that's 25 years old, but everybody has seen it. You know, you can't say that about all the great movies. Like, look at Godfather. Like, I think an awful lot, I think an unspeakable number of people who watch AMC Movie News have not seen the original Godfather.
I'm one of them.
See what I mean?
I'm going on the 25th of April. Alicia's taking me to see Godfather.
And then you will smash your own face into the wall saying, how have I deprived myself of this cinematic great for so long?
Or will I wonder where the dragons are?
Oh, where are the dragons? So, I mean, so if somebody came along to me today and said, we're going to remake The Godfather, I'd be okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people today who haven't seen the original. Why not do a fresh take on it, bring it to a new generation? If it sucks, who cares? I still got the original. But had everybody today still seen The Godfather and everybody out there, then there'd be no point. Lion King fits into that category, I think, right now. So I'd say we're not at the time yet.
Would you like to see it, say in 5 years' time, with a CG animation instead of the one that we've already seen? Would
Godfather?
you like to see it in? No.
I know. I'm just kidding. Michael Corleone in 3. Sure. Yeah, I'll say sure. Yes.
Sweet. Now
we're done.
Is the last question that we have right here on AMC Mailbag. If you want to get your question in, make sure you do. Just email amcmovietalk@gmail.com. If you want an audio-only version of this show, just look in the description below because you'll see a link right there. If you want to catch a movie this weekend, jump onto amctheatres.com. Check out your local cinemas' times and what's playing. And if you haven't subscribed or liked, do it. Do it now because that little thumbs up button's just a click away. And if you subscribe, you get all of these wonderful videos. Thanks to everyone in the room for making this video possible. Ray, the fact checker, and hashtag damn it Dennis sitting at the computer right there. John Campea, thank you so much for answering the questions too. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on the social media networks, on the Facebooks and on the Twitters. You can follow me there simply at John Campea. And don't forget, guys, follow us on Instagram as well. Just follow us on Instagram, just at AMC Movie News.
And if you would like to get in touch with me, I'm on social media as well. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm at Maud Garrett. Thank you so much again for watching.